Hey guys, it's Boston Blaisdale. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining today's Second Life University class, a series of short tutorials helping you to learn about the vast virtual world of Second Life. We're continuing the set of videos on avatar customization, and today we're focusing on mesh bodies by the creator Belleza. And in this video, we're diving into Belleza Jake, which is a men's body that you can try out from their main store. As always, I'll be giving you an overview of how to set the body up, what's included in the folder. We'll also explore the HUD to look at some of the customization options, and I'll be showing you a selection of clothing, skins, tattoos and add-ons from different creators who have produced items for the Jake body, also that you can have some fun with creating unique looks for your avatars. And with all of that said, let's get into it. Okay, so we're starting with a basic system avatar. I'm unpacking the Jake object from our objects folder by right-clicking and selecting add. This will attach it to our screen, and then it will send a new folder to our inventory. We can then right-click the object and select detach because we don't need this anymore. I've also just added my Lelutka Mesh Head. This is a separate purchase, and I've published 2 independent videos for Lelutka heads on the Second Life University playlist if you need guidance on how to set your heads up. But let's walk through the steps for getting the body set up. In your recent tab, the Jake folder should now be unpacked. The body itself is just listed here with the version number and the text Bomb Bento. Belleza have also included a modifiable version of the body. We don't need that one for today. I'm just going ahead with adding the regular version. And whilst we're here, if we go a little further up, I'm attaching the HUD, which we're going to use as a controller to configure parts of the body. We also get some free clothing in here, some nice maroon shorts, and also a t-shirt to get you started. I will be showing you some other clothing options in this video as well. For the body skins, we're going to unpack this object here, which says Bomb Mesh Body Skin. And again, that will open up a separate folder in your inventory. There's 7 skin tones in total from fair through to mocha, but there's 2 versions of each skin tone, either one with some chest body hair or one without. So I'm just trying out the medium tone here to find a close fit to the face skin that's by Aviglam. With Bakes on Mesh face skins, they usually come with a free neck blend. The Belleza body doesn't have any neck blends included, so I'm just wearing one by the creator Velour, which is the same tone as the Aviglam face skin. After you add the neck blend, if it doesn't show, you may just need to reorder your layers. I'm in the Second Life viewer for this video, so to do that, just right-click your avatar, and then select Edit Outfit Parts. This will show all of the layers that you have on, and you just want to make sure that the neck blend is above the head and body skin by using the arrows to move the layer up and down. And once you close that box, it should all render correctly. Now, if I want to upgrade this body skin and make everything match more effectively, then I would swap out the body skin, which comes free with the Jake package, and purchase one which has been specifically designed to blend with the Aviglam face skin. So here I've swapped over to the Eros men's body skin by Velour. They've got different versions of the skin depending on how much definition you'd like on the torso area, either a more muscular or softer look. And that's the Bakes on Mesh method. It's pretty straightforward to use, certainly the application that I would recommend. But with most bodies, you have 2 systems for wearing skins and add-ons. The other way of doing this is the applier system, and that's using skins via these tiles in the HUD. If you were to use these applier skins, you may see that the old system avatar comes crashing through. So you're going to need to wear an alpha to hide this. You do get some alphas included in the Jake folder. There's one here named Full Avatar Alpha. I'm going to wear this one for the moment. However, because I'm also wearing a Lelutka head with applier eyes, instead I'm going to use the special alpha from the Lelutka folder, which is named Bomb Head, Applier Body and Applier Eyes. And when I wear that, it should restore the eyes. So this will all depend on what type of configuration you've decided to go for. Again, I explain this in a bit more detail in my Lelutka tutorials. Then I can just cycle through the different skins and also swap between standard and chest hair options. If you were going for this skin applier system, you're not going to get a very nice blend between the neckline and the head. There is a neck sheath included that you can apply to help this out a little bit, and that's located within the Shape tab. To be honest, it's not a perfect solution. It can definitely look a little bit off, and this is actually one of the reasons I personally don't ever use the skins from the HUD. You do have a replica of all of these skins as bakes on mesh layers in your inventory, so I would really recommend removing any full body alphas and just sticking with the bomb layering system. Trust me, it's going to make your life a lot easier. To swap back over to bakes on mesh, just click on the bomb button. If the body turns red, don't be alarmed, it's because you're wearing an alpha, so just check that in your worn tab. Within the skin tab, this is also where you can adjust the body shine. I personally like to change the alpha mode to blend, bring the gloss down to 1/3 of the way on the slider, and I also like to have this N button selected, which adds a bit more bumpiness and texture to the body. For skin effects to show, you need to have advanced lighting activated, and that's just under your graphics preferences. For tint in the skin, this can either be isolated for just the skin, just the neck, or both if you want to do that. Click the skin tile, then choose a color from the palette. For natural skin tones, you'll want to be more in the red-yellow region, and then use the vertical slider to change the intensity of it. To save the tint, just click and hold your mouse button on the fill tile, and then single click the empty slot. This means that you'll have it available for reuse later. To delete it, just click on the clear button and it will make the panel turn white. Long hold it again and then single click on the tile that you want to overwrite. When you're working with skin tones, make sure that you change the color of the nails as well over on this section. If you're wearing a darker skin tone, you may want a bit more pigmentation in the nail color. And you've got the same effect options here as the skins tab, as well as the option to remove the nails entirely if you want to wear some third-party ones that are compatible with the Jake body. Over on the alpha part of the HUD, this section includes a model reference of the body, so we can choose to hide specific parts or sections of Jake if any of the mesh clothing is clipping through. Just click on different cuts of the body and the areas hidden will turn green on the HUD. You can also hide or show complete sections by choosing one of the buttons on the side. If you want to show the full body again, just click on the Reset All Faces button. I'm also rotating the model by clicking either the left or right arrow, and this will allow us to hide sections at the back. The shape menu is where we can change the hand poses and animations. Now, I found that when I'm wearing an animation overrider for my body's breathing poses, these hand animations don't actually work in unison with them. So you would need to remove your AO to use this section, but then you'd lose your body's pose. So it's pretty pointless to do that. I personally prefer to stick with hand poses that come with the poses that I use in my animation overrider. But whilst we're on the subject of shaping, since we're in the shape menu, don't forget that you can easily reshape your body by right-clicking your avatar, select shape, and then just play with the sliders to get the body how you'd like it. You can change the body fat, the thickness, shoulders, torso muscles, however you see fit. This always comes down to your personal preference. There are some shapes included in the package, but if I wear one of these, it's probably going to look very strange because the shape numbers for the head probably wasn't made for this specific head. In fact, I know it wasn't because this head was released long after the Jake body was produced. So you can either shape the body and head yourself, or you can buy shapes on the marketplace or in World that have been designed for your specific combination of head and body. The next three sections, layers, articles, and outfits, these are only applicable if you're using the applier system for add-ons. So let me show you an example of this. I've got a tattoo here by the creator Vegas. There's lots of different applications of the same tattoo in this folder. What I can do is click on this one here, which is the Belleza applier, open that up, choose the intensity level, and then select the tattoo layer. Then in the Layers tab on the Belleza HUD, I can show and hide the layer by clicking the clothing symbols for the upper and lower body parts. Now, what I'm going to show you is how to use the Articles tab to save different combinations of your tattoo layers. I'm going to save my current one by clicking on the Save Worn layer. This first box in the first column is for tattoo layers which are closest to the body. I'm going to save the lower part of the tattoo as well, again using this first column of boxes. And you can see that the model now updates with a visual depiction of the tattoos. I now want to save a different tattoo, so back to layers, I'm going to clear all layers, and then I want to choose another tattoo. We're going for one by Dapper, following the same process by applying the tattoo on the Dapper HUD. Choose the tattoo layer in the pop-up box, and then it will show on the body. Then go to your Articles tab. We want the next available slot. There's actually 15 in total for both sections. So I'm getting to the second one by clicking on the top right side of the model. We're doing the same for the lower half, and we can see that this now says 2 on both parts, which means that we're in the second slots. Then I can do the same thing that I did with the first one by saving my worn layers on both parts. And now I can cycle back to my previous article to apply it to the body. And the benefit of this is that we can continue to save lots of different tattoo appliers and access them quite easily on the HUD, which is pretty handy. Now, one of the issues with this method is that if you're wearing a tattoo which comes above the neckline and you're wearing a Lelutka head, this isn't going to work properly because Lelutka is only configured for bakes on mesh, so we won't see the top half of this tattoo. So similar to skins, my personal preference is to simply stick with bakes on mesh. And most tattoos come with BOM versions included. So here this one clearly states Evo X, which is specific to Lelutka. So I can just clear all of the applier layers and just wear the bakes on mesh version instead. And these are easily identified by the red dragon symbol, which depicts the tattoo layer. When you're buying tattoos, they should always state what type of layers are included. If you want to use the first applier method that I showed you, then just make sure that it says Belleza. But if you want to use bakes on mesh, which is the one that I prefer, it doesn't need to specifically state Belleza. If it says BOM, then that's going to work absolutely fine. And here's a selection of outfits for this Jake body, courtesy of the male and female fashion designer brand EK. Really love their stuff, it's always very good quality, and they rig for Jake, which is a bonus. The outfits tab that you see in the HUD, it becomes a little bit redundant when you're wearing mesh clothing, so we don't actually need to use it in this scenario. If ever you want to save your whole outfit, in the Second Life viewer, just right click your avatar, then edit outfit parts, click save as, and then choose a name for the outfit. And then in future, from your inventory, you can go to the folder which says My Outfits, find the one that you want, right-click the root of the folder, and then select Replace Current Outfit. That's going to remove everything that you have on, and then render your saved outfit. So it's a good idea to get organized with this. It's a big time saver from needing to add and remove different items individually. With the Jake body, as I mentioned earlier, it's a really good body, particularly if you're new and you don't want to invest too much in a mesh body. It ticks the boxes for affordability, quality, and compatibility with lots of different clothing creators in Second Life. Some of the other popular men's bodies that we've covered in this series include Legacy Athletic and Masculine, Signature Gianni, and Inithium Cario. So you can check out those videos on the playlist. They all have slightly different functions from each other, and the overall shape and frame of the body differs greatly. Jake is more suited to a slim or athletic build, in comparison to Cario, for example, which has a much more exaggerated bodybuilder frame. Belleza have just recently produced a new female body named Gen X, which I've covered in a separate video. So we could expect to see a new male body by Belleza in the coming months, depending on when you're watching this video, but I suspect that Jake will still hold a strong position in the mesh body market and will probably remain as one of the cheapest options to purchase. That is all for this video. I hope it was helpful, guys. Feel free to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and drop a comment if you have any questions. I will try and answer them as best as possible during the first week of the video being published. Thank you for watching, everyone. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon.